Ladies and gentlemen, let me have your attention for just a minute. Now, I don't know who needs to hear this today, but you're about to. See, we live in a world where folks wake up already defeated, already stressed, already convinced it ain't gone work out. But let me tell you something. What if, just what if, you acted like everything in your life was working for you, not against you? I'm talking about walking into every situation like the outcome's already in your favor, like God already made the reservation, like the table's already set, you just got to show up and sit down. See, when you act like it's all working out, your attitude changes, your energy changes, and trust me, the results change. So today we gon' talk about that mindset, that faith, that next level belief that says, I don't care what it looks like. I know it's working out for me. Y'all ready? I said, are y'all ready? Let's get into it. Your mindset is the blueprint for your reality. Everything you experience, every decision you make, every obstacle you face, it all begins with how you think. Before anything ever becomes a reality in your life, it starts as a thought in your mind. Your mindset is the architect, the planner, and the construction crew of the life you are living. If you believe that you're going to succeed, if you truly carry that belief, then your actions will start to reflect that. You'll walk differently, talk differently, show up differently, and the world, it responds to that energy. Most people go through life on autopilot, reacting to things instead of creating their lives intentionally. But when you recognize the power of your mindset, you shift from being a reactor to being a creator. It's not about pretending life is perfect. It's about choosing how you're going to see it. Two people can look at the same situation and have completely different experiences. Why? Because it's not the situation. It's the mindset that filters it. Let's be real. Life throws curveballs. Things will not always go the way you planned. But if you have a mindset that says, no matter what, I'm going to find a way, then you will. If you have a mindset that says, everything that happens is pushing me forward, even if I don't understand it right now, then suddenly setbacks start to look like setups. That shift doesn't come from the outside, it comes from how you choose to think. Think about it like this. If your mindset is wired for struggle, you'll find struggle everywhere. You'll assume the worst, you'll expect rejection, you'll talk yourself out of opportunities before they even arrive. That's because your thoughts have already shaped your internal world to see struggle as your default setting. But if your mindset is wired for growth, you'll look at challenges and say, there's something here for me. You'll look at a no and think, okay, what's next? That doesn't mean you won't feel fear or doubt. It means you won't live in it. Everything begins in the mind. You can't build a mansion of success with the foundation of a shack mentality. If your internal dialogue is full of I can't, I'm not good enough, or this is just how things are, then you're setting yourself up to live in the limits you've created. But when your internal voice says, I've got this challenge is growing me, or I'm built for more, then your actions start lining up with that belief. And that's when things start to shift. Now, here's the part most people overlook. Your mindset isn't just something you're born with. It's something you train. You don't get strong by lifting weights once. You've got to show up every day, even when you don't feel like it, and train that mindset like a muscle. Read things that challenge your perspective. Surround yourself with people who push you forward. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to someone you love. Because the world is already going to try to tear you down. You don't need to do it to yourself. The mind is powerful. It believes whatever you tell it most often. If you keep saying life is hard, your mind will find proof of it everywhere you go. If you say nothing ever works out, your brain will filter the world to show you exactly that. But when you start saying, everything always works out for me, even if you don't see it yet, your mind will start searching for evidence to support that belief. That's how the blueprint works. It starts as an idea. That idea becomes a belief. That belief shapes your choices, and those choices create your reality. Energy attracts outcomes. Carry winning energy. The way you show up, the way you speak, the way you think, it all sends out a signal. That signal is your energy, and whether you realize it or not, it's either pulling things toward you or pushing them away. People feel energy before they hear words. Opportunities sense confidence before they arrive, and life responds to the energy you carry more than the plans you write down. If you walk into a room defeated, the room will treat you like you've already lost. But if you walk in with a kind of presence that says, I belong here, then the room adjusts to match your vibration. Energy isn't just some abstract concept, it's real. You can't see why, but you know it's working. Same with energy. It's the invisible frequency that you're always broadcasting. So ask yourself, what are you transmitting? Are you sending out doubt, fear, lack, or hesitation? Or are you sending out belief, confidence, enthusiasm, and purpose? Because life doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. If you want winning outcomes, you've got to bring winning energy. Not sometimes, every time, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. It's easy to carry good energy when everything's going right. But true power comes when you can still show up with strength, even while things are uncertain. When you can smile without faking it, speak hope when others are complaining, walk with purpose even when you don't have all the pieces figured out. That's when energy starts to work in your favor. That kind of energy is rare. That kind of energy stands out, and people notice. Because most folks are dragging their feet through life, waiting for something to happen before they shift their attitude. But the ones who win, they bring the attitude first. They create the shift through their presence. Think about how athletes hype themselves up before a game. They're not waiting for the win. They're bringing the energy of the win with them. That energy gives them an edge. You don't need a stadium to do the same. You need to wake up every day and ask, what kind of energy am I going to lead with today? Because whether you realize it or not, people are watching. Life is watching, and it's not just about being loud or upbeat. It's about being aligned. When your energy lines up with your goals, with your values, with your vision, that's when momentum starts building. Negative energy drains. It repels people. It closes doors. You might not mean to, but if you're walking around bitter, frustrated, or stuck in past disappointments, that energy lingers, and it speaks louder than your words ever could. On the other hand, positive energy uplifts. It attracts. It invites collaboration, support, and forward motion. That's why it's so important to protect your energy. Watch your environment, your conversations, even your thoughts, because they all influence the signal you're sending out. Winning energy is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up as the version of yourself that your goals require, not just the version that your circumstances allow. It's a decision to lead with hope, to act with boldness, and to think with clarity. When you do that, people start to trust your presence. Doors begin to open that once felt sealed shut. You stop chasing validation and start attracting alignment. And the best part, you don't have to fake it. You cultivate it. You nurture that energy through discipline, gratitude, intention, and vision. Your energy is your responsibility. You don't control every situation, but you do control the energy you bring into it. That energy becomes your reputation. It becomes your brand. It becomes your advantage. People remember how you made them feel. Life remembers what you gave it. So if you want better outcomes, upgrade your energy. Walk in like it's already yours. Speak like you mean it. Think like it's unfolding in your favor. Because the energy you give is the energy that comes back. Faith is acting like it's already done. It's not just hoping, it's not just wishing, and it's definitely not just sitting around waiting. Faith is movement. It's walking like the answer has already been given, talking like the door has already opened, and showing up like the victory is already yours. When you carry true faith, you stop asking, "What if it doesn't work out?" And you start asking, "How would I act if it already had?" That shift in behavior, that's where everything begins to change. Most people think faith is something you use only in the dark times, when things go wrong or you're backed into a corner. But real faith, it's a lifestyle. It's how you wake up, how you go to work, how you chase your goals. It's embedded in every step you take. You don't wait for proof to move. You move, and the proof shows up after. Acting like it's already done means making decisions based on where you're headed, not where you are. You might not have the job yet, but you prepare like you do. You might not have met the right person yet, but you carry yourself like you already have the love you deserve. That kind of faith sends a message to the universe, to the people around you, and most importantly, to yourself. See, faith is internal confidence. It's the quiet voice that says, "I don't have to see it to believe it. I believe it, so I will see it." That's not delusion, that's vision. That's strength. And let me tell you, when you start living like it's already done, everything around you begins to shift. People respond differently. Opportunities show up. The right energy finds its way into your space because you're aligned with what you believe is already yours. Now, this doesn't mean you're ignoring reality. Acting like it's already done doesn't mean you lie to yourself or pretend everything's perfect. It means you acknowledge the facts, but you operate from the truth. And the truth is, your outcome is greater than your obstacle. The truth is, just because you don't have it yet doesn't mean it's not on the way. Faith looks reality in the eye and says, "You don't get the final say." A lot of folks want to see the full staircase before they take the first step. But real faith, it's taking the step even when all you see is fog. It's trusting that every move forward is leading you somewhere, even if you can't trace the path. It's waking up with expectancy instead of anxiety. It's showing up to the audition, to the interview, to the meeting with the mindset that says, "I already belong here." Because if you don't believe it first, no one else will. When you act like it's already done, your language changes. You stop saying, "I hope," and start saying, "I'm ready." You stop saying, "I don't know how," and start saying, "I'll figure it out." That shift opens doors because you stop sending signals of hesitation and start broadcasting certainty. And certainty is magnetic. Faith doesn't mean you won't feel fear. Faith means you move anyway because you trust what's on the other side. And when you carry that kind of energy, things begin to align, not always instantly, but consistently. This is the key. Faith is not passive. It requires action. You've got to walk in the direction of your belief, even when the results haven't shown up yet. You dress for the role, you prepare for the opportunity, you speak the vision out loud because you're not waiting for evidence, you're creating it. You're telling life, "I'm already there," and life begins to catch up to the story you're telling. Detours are part of the destination. Most people see a detour and immediately feel like they've failed, like something went wrong, like they've been thrown off course. But what if the detour is the course? What if that unexpected turn, that delay, that rejection, that door that didn't open, that was all part of the exact path you needed to take? Life rarely goes in a straight line. The road to anything meaningful is almost always filled with twists, turns, delays, and moments that make no sense in the moment. But that doesn't mean it's the wrong road. We live in a world that glorifies speed and straight paths. We want to get there fast, with as little friction as possible. But growth doesn't live in the easy path. Wisdom doesn't live in the shortcut. Purpose doesn't live in the smooth ride. It's the detours that stretch you. It's the unexpected changes that teach you how to trust, how to adapt, how to dig deeper. And sometimes, what looks like a setback is actually a setup for something greater than you planned. You thought you were being delayed, but really you were being redirected. People get frustrated when things don't go according to plan, but plans are made with limited perspective. Detours happen when a greater perspective steps in. You might think you're supposed to go left, but life says go right. Not because you're being punished, but because what you need isn't where you thought it was. And it's only in hindsight that you'll see why things had to unfold the way they did. That missed opportunity might have protected you. That slow season might have developed a skill you were going to need later. That closed door might have saved you years of being stuck in the wrong place. Detours build resilience. When you're forced to take a new route, you learn how to be flexible, how to adjust, how to keep moving even when you don't fully understand the path. And that flexibility becomes your power. Because life will not always ask for your permission before it changes the plan. It will just change it. And when you've built the mindset to handle detours, you stop falling apart every time something doesn't go your way. You start trusting the process. You start realizing that the journey is less about control and more about flow. Sometimes the detour is there because you're not ready for what you're asking for. It's not a no. It's a not yet. It's a divine pause to get you prepared, to make sure that when the opportunity does show up, you're not just standing there. You're ready to step into it fully. Other times, the detour is life giving you a chance to learn something you didn't know you needed. Maybe it's patience. Maybe it's humility. Maybe it's a new way of seeing things. But whatever it is, it's shaping you in ways the original path never could have. You have to stop looking at detours as disappointments and start seeing them as divine directions. Just because it's not happening the way you pictured, it doesn't mean it's not happening. The destination is still the same, but the route might change. That's okay. You're not behind, you're not lost. You're being guided, and every time you choose to trust that, even just a little, you grow stronger. You start moving with a different kind of confidence. Not because everything is clear, but because you've learned how to keep going even when it's not. The truth is, some of the best things in life come from detours. Relationships you never expected, lessons you couldn't have learned any other way, strength you didn't know you had. Every time something doesn't go as planned, you're being given a chance to find a better plan. You're being reminded that life is not just about the destination, it's about who you become along the way. And often, the person you become during the detour is exactly who you needed to be in order to handle the destination. When you arrive, speak what you seek until you see what you said. Words have power, and the way you speak about your life shapes the way your life unfolds. Most people speak based on what they see, but the real shift happens when you start speaking based on what you believe. It's easy to describe your current situation. Anyone can do that. What's rare, what's powerful, is the ability to declare where you're going while you're still in the middle of where you are. That's not just motivation, that's manifestation. Because what you speak consistently, you begin to believe. And what you believe, you begin to move toward. The words you use are creating a blueprint. Every time you say, "I can't," you're laying down bricks in the wrong direction. Every time you say, "I'm not ready," you're building barriers. But when you say, "I will figure this out," you open a door. When you say, "I'm growing," even while you feel stuck, you plant seeds. Your mouth is a tool either for destruction or for creation. The more you speak life, the more life you start to see. The more you affirm your vision, the clearer it becomes, even when nothing outside of you has changed yet. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about speaking possibility. It's about shifting your focus from limitation to expansion, from problems to potential, from fear to faith. You can choose to describe your circumstances, or you can decide to declare your future. One keeps you stuck, the other moves you forward. And this isn't just about affirmations on your mirror. This is about the language you use all day, in casual conversations, in your self-talk, in the quiet moments when no one's watching. What are you saying to yourself when things get hard? What are you repeating when things go wrong? That pattern of speech becomes the script you're living out. Your words teach your brain what to focus on. When you speak fear, your brain finds more reasons to be afraid. When you speak victory, your brain starts looking for opportunities to win. It's a simple shift with massive consequences. This is why it's so important to be intentional with your language. Speak with conviction. Speak with clarity. Speak with expectation. Even if it feels awkward at first, even if the evidence isn't there yet, keep speaking. Because repetition builds belief, and belief fuels behavior, and behavior shapes outcomes. When you speak what you seek, you're not pretending. You're preparing. You're aligning yourself with the version of you that already has it, already overcame it, already stepped into the vision. The more you talk like it's already happening, the more you start to feel like it's possible. And when you feel it, you start acting on it. That's when momentum builds. That's when things start moving. because you're not just hoping anymore. You're becoming the person who makes it real. It all starts with your words. Gratitude flips the script on any situation. It's the most underestimated yet most powerful tool. You have to shift your perspective, your energy, and ultimately your reality. Most people wait for something big to happen before they feel grateful, but true gratitude doesn't wait for the perfect moment, it creates it. It doesn't need everything to be right to start acknowledging what is. When you choose to focus on what's good, what's working, what's present, you take back control of your mindset. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become an active participant in your own joy. Gratitude doesn't ignore the struggle, but it refuses to let the struggle be the only story. It allows you to see blessings even in the breakdown, to recognize progress even when the finish line feels far. When things go wrong, it's easy to focus on lack, what you lost, what didn't happen, what's missing. But when you train your mind to look for what's still good, what's still growing, what's still within your power, the whole atmosphere around you begins to shift. That shift isn't magic. It's mindset. Gratitude doesn't remove problems, but it gives you the strength and clarity to face them with resilience. People think gratitude is passive, like it's just sitting around being thankful for what you have, but real gratitude is active. It's a decision you make over and over again to lean into appreciation, especially when it would be easier to complain. It's waking up and saying thank you, even when the day ahead is uncertain. It's choosing to notice the small wins, the quiet support, the fact that you're still standing, still breathing, still in the game. That kind of gratitude builds endurance. It reminds you of your power. It reminds you that not everything is falling apart, even when some things are. Gratitude is also magnetic. It shifts your energy so deeply that it changes the way people respond to you. It's hard to ignore someone who radiates genuine appreciation. It draws in support, builds better relationships, and opens the door to more opportunities. Because when people see that you value what you have, they're more willing to trust you with more. Gratitude creates momentum. When you're thankful for what you have, you take better care of it. You show up with more passion, more commitment, more focus. That energy doesn't just impact you, it impacts everyone around you. Even in difficult times, gratitude allows you to find purpose. It doesn't mean pretending things are easy. It means acknowledging that even in hardship, there is something to learn, something to grow from, something to be grateful for. It's a mindset that looks at pain and says, "This is shaping me." That kind of attitude doesn't just help you survive, it helps you thrive. Gratitude becomes your grounding, your compass, your fuel. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. And over time, you start to realize that it wasn't your circumstances that needed to change. It was your focus. Gratitude gave you new eyes to see the same life differently.